graders, and welcome to lesson 81 on arithmetic units of measure. Remember that arithmetic is adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. Alright, so for addition and subtraction, you must make the units the same first. We know this. If we've got unlike denominators and we're adding and subtracting, we have to make them the same first, right? So the same thing is true with the units. Here's our example. We've got 2 feet plus 12 inches. Well, feet and inches are different labels. They have different last names. So we can't add them until we give them the same last names or the same unit. So that means we have to convert one of them. We can either convert them both to inches or we can convert them both to feet. So I'm going to show you both ways. If we were to go to inches first, which is what I really recommend, always go to the smaller unit first, because then you're not going to have decimals. If you've got a bigger unit, if you try to take these and go to a bigger unit, you might have a decimal number, but if you go to the smaller unit, you'll always have whole numbers. So here, if we're going to go to inches, then I want to know how many inches is 2 feet. And I'm going to show you how to do this using that conversion factor that you all love so much. So we start with what we know. We've got 2 feet, and I put it over 1, right? Those are always my steps. Start with what I know, put it over 1. And now I'm going to multiply it by another fraction. What label do I want on the bottom? Feet, because I want it to cross off. And whatever label I want to end up with, which is inches, is going to go on the top. Now I look for a fraction that is equal to 1 that shows me how inches and feet are connected to each other. And I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. Now I multiply across. 2 times 12 is 24. The feet go away, so I've got 24 inches over 1, which means 24 inches. So now I already converted that. So now I've got 24 inches plus 12 inches, which equals, and if I lined them up and added them up, I would know that it is 36 inches. Yay! Let's look about if we did it to feet. So this time, I want to end in feet, so I need to convert 12 inches into feet. So I'm going to take what I know, which is 12 inches. I'm going to put it over 1, multiply it by a fraction. Inches goes on the bottom, so it will cross off. Feet is what I want. It goes on top. And what's the relationship between inches and feet? 1 foot equals 12 inches. So now I'm going to multiply across. I got 12 over 12, which equals 1 foot. So now I can say 2 feet plus 1 feet equals 3 feet. And the answer here I got is 3 feet, and the answer there I got is 36 inches, which are the exact same thing, because there are 36 inches in 3 feet. So as you see, either way you do it, you'll get the right answer. It's just it's going to be with a different label. All right? What about with subtraction? We do the exact same thing, the same steps. So for this one, I want you to try. I'm going to help you get it a little bit set up first, though. So we've got 3 feet minus 18 inches. Let's go to inches. So we're going to convert 3 feet, put it over 1. We got feet, inches. I want you to do this. You're going to put in the relationship between inches and feet, how many inches are in a foot. You're going to multiply across and you'll get a fraction. And then you're going to take whatever number you get and you're going to subtract 18 inches, okay, from that, and you'll get your answer. All right, C. So this one's got a decimal, and you might say, well, Mrs. Williams, I don't know what to do if there's a decimal. You can follow the same steps because conversion factors work for everything. 1.5 feet over 1 times, why don't you try this one on your own and then see if you got it right. Push unpause and you can see if you got it right. Okay, so I'm going to put feet on the bottom, inches on the top, 12 inches, 1 foot, 1.5 times 12, which is 18. So we've got 18 inches over 1. So the feet crossed off. So we've got 18 inches. Now for the next part. So now we have 18 inches plus 11 inches equals 29 inches. Ta-da! All right, when we multiply and divide, our units also get multiplied and divided. So this is a little bit different. Here, I have 1 centimeter. It's just a line of 1 centimeter. Here, I've got 1 square centimeter. And whenever we're doing area, we use squared centimeters. And if we're just finding perimeter, right, we've used just straight centimeters. So when we multiply a centimeter times a centimeter, we're going to end up getting squared centimeters. The label is going to change. So how do you do this? Well, first you multiply the whole numbers. So 2 times 3 is 6. And then you multiply the labels. So centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. Here's another one. Same type of thing, right? So do this one on your own. Multiply the whole numbers, then multiply the labels. Look back at the other example if you're unsure. Here I've got E. It says that the area of this rectangle is 21 centimeters squared, and the length is 7 centimeters, and it wants to know the width. Well, how can we figure that out? Well, we know that the length times the width, so 7 centimeters times x is going to equal 21 centimeters squared. So if I read it this way as multiplication, reading it this way will be division. I undo multiplication with division. So 21 divided by 7, I think you guys know the answer to that, is 3, right? So x equals 3. And now what's my label going to be? Well, here I had centimeters squared, but if I divide centimeters squared by centimeters, I'm going to just have centimeters left. So this was centimeters, this is centimeters, and that answer was centimeters squared. Okay, F is like doing the exact same thing. This is saying 25 miles squared divided by 5 miles. First, I'm going to divide the whole numbers. 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then miles squared divided by miles, I'm only going to have miles left. I could illustrate this by, let's say that I had miles times, that would be better, miles on top and just miles on the bottom. Well, these are going to cross off because they're the same. So all that's left is 1 miles, which is why our label is just 1 miles. All right, G and H are a little different because now we have 2 different labels here, right? So for this one, what's going to happen is both of our labels are going to stay there after we divide. Let's divide the whole numbers first. So we've got 300 divided by 6. 6 does not go into 3, but it does go into 30 5 times. Bring up my 0. So I've got 50 on top, and now I would only have 1 on bottom. I was going to show you something extra, but I think this lesson has enough in it already, so we won't go into that. So here I got 50, and what labels are left? I've got miles and hours. So that means that there's miles per hour. 300 miles in 6 hours is 50 miles in 1 hour. All right, what about this one? So I want you to do the same step. Divide 300 by 10, and then your labels, you're going to keep both labels. You'll have miles per hour. This many miles in 1 hour. Go ahead and do that. Bring it to school with you tomorrow. I look forward to seeing you. Get to work.